Welcome to Bike Teachers, guys. We're going to be disassembling an entire bike. This can go for just about any bike, road bike, mountain bike, kids bike, BMX, anything like that. I'm going to try and do this to where if you're a beginner and you need things kind of broken down into small segments. This bike is just it's a mountain bike style, almost kind of commuter style. It's a Trek ZX 6500, pretty common bike. I'm going to start with the real basics. Take off the big items, get them out of the way, such as the wheels. We're going to squeeze these two brakes together. Either you're squeezing at the brake pads or squeezing at the two arms here, bringing it close together. Just like that, squeezing these two. And then once you do that, once you squeeze those two, you're going to go over to this left side. There's this little piece of metal. That's for your fingers. We're going to be pushing that downward. So you're going to be pushed down and then slide right out. There's a little opening right there. You can slide out and then everything's released. So for the quick release lever here, we got this guy. So we're flipping this open. And then I'm holding the wheel in place. I'm going to hold this side and then I'm going to untwist this side just enough to where that wheel wants to fall down. If it doesn't fall down, it's probably stuck in the brakes here. You can either open the brake arms a little bit more or push down just real gently. If it's really, really tight, then you can let the air out of this tire. And then, like this one's almost flat. This one will just squeeze right out. Just like that. So next we're going to be removing the rear wheel, but you always want to relax the rear derailleur. So you want to put your shifter, while you're pedaling, you want to put it in the hardest gear, which is going to be your highest. In this case, we have a 7-speed, or you might have an 8-speed, 9-speed, 10-speed. Put it in that last gear, so the chain's in the smallest gear in the rear. That's going to relax the derailleur. It's going to be less work trying to get that wheel out. Same thing for the rear. We're going to go ahead and unloosen our quick release on the brakes. So right up here, we're squeezing the two brake levers together. If you can do this with one hand, coming together, squeeze those brake arms together against the rim, and you're coming to this little metal piece here. If you have a cantilever, if you have a V-brakes, you probably have a noodle. You just want to pull that noodle and kind of start wiggling, jiggling it loose from your brake pad, your brake arm right there. All right, if you do got a tight fitting tire that's getting stuck on the brake pads, you can take all the air out of your tire. That way it's all nice and squishy like that. I'm gonna hold the wheel so it doesn't fall and hit the ground. Flip our lever open. For the back wheel, that's all we have to do. We don't have to unscrew anything else, just flip it and the wheel should fall right out. If it's a little stuck, just give it a tap, fall down, and then you have your rear derailleur. You can kind of pull that back out of the way and just get that wheel free. So really you can start just about anywhere on the bike to start taking things apart. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and probably start unloosening all my cable pinch bolts for the brakes and derailleurs. So I'm going to grab my 3-way, or you can have an Allen wrench, one of these two. I like the 3-way because it's really easy to use and it's a little faster. I can get two hands on it and I can spin tools free really easy. So, and most typical size is going to be a 5mm. So that's the pinch cable bolt for your brake. We're going to unscrew that bolt. No need to take it out all the way. Just going to loosen it up so that cable's loose. Come over and do your rear. Unloosen that cable pinch bolt for the rear. And in this case, since we do have cantilevers for this guy, it's got some extra parts here. So if your cable doesn't want to come out of your brake, we're going to go ahead and clip the end because there's an end cap on there. So you can either use wire cutters, but I like to use the wire housing cutter. This is the one that allows you to cut housing and cables pretty darn easy. So there's no end caps on this, so this came out pretty easy. If you had something there, just going to clip it. But you don't want to get rid of your straddle cable right here. This is a piece you need it. If you cut this the wrong side on accident, you'll have to go buy a new one. So in this case, this guy just should slide free. Just like that. We're going to save these. Front and rear, they're not front and rear specific, so they can go either side. And you're going to save the rear, pull that straddle cable off, clip the end if you have to, clip in the end of the cable, the end cap, saving the rest of the straddle cable. So it looks like there's a piece of housing here, and the other end there's a wire, but it also has some molded metal on it. This is all a keeper. We're keeping this guy right here, so you don't want to cut the wrong end. We want to cut the end where the cable's actually coming in this way, and then it goes straight up. Now we're going to go ahead and take off our brake arms. And this is pretty standard for any bike, whether whatever style brakes you have, whether you have cantilever or V brakes. So again, this is going to be a 5mm. This bolt we're taking out all the way. And this is the bolt that's connecting the brake arm to your actual fork. And this one we're taking out all the way. There's going to be a bolt and a washer. Do not lose the washer or bolt. And get both of those off of there. Bolt and washer, once those are loose, then we're able to grab the whole arm. We want to slide that off as a unit. Now if you're running cantilever, there's going to be a spring inside, so you want to try and grab everything as a unit and pull it off, because it will separate and we'll have a few pieces to figure out. So this guy comes off just like that, and there's a piece of plastic, and then there's a spring. All that can come out. So this came out as one unit. What you can do is get a zip tie, put a zip tie through the hole here, keep everything together so you don't lose any pieces there, and do that for both sides. And these will be left and right specific. So as you're laying stuff out, you can either mark it out, get a piece of tape, put it on the table. You can mark out where all your parts go, or you can get plastic baggies ready to go, mark the baggies. This is my front brake, these are my rear brakes. You know, so if the springs do fall apart, at least they're inside the baggie and you can figure out how everything else goes back together. So we're going to slide this arm off as a unit, just like that. So right here we have the brake posts or brake bosses where the brake arms slide onto. Hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. If you like what you see, leave a thumbs up. Something I didn't do or I didn't get to, just go ahead and leave that comment as well. I do classes. If you're in the area, we can do minimum of 1 hour, or we can do a maximum of 70 hours. So depending what you're looking for, can certainly fit your bill. So have a good one.